Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. And it's finally almost game day, which means, of course, it's time for your match preview. And I'm bringing you a preview looking ahead to the old foes down in London at capital Millwall. It's Millwall versus Leeds, 12 o'clock Sunday morning, changed obviously due to policing, etc. This rivalry, if you like, does sort of go way back. So who can forget Right Said Fred at Ellen Road? Do you know what I mean? With the first buses and that. You all know the history around this fixture.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
And look, Leeds United have a checkered past in London because we have lost each of our last 7 games down in the capital. So I'm a little bit nervous for this game, I can't lie to you, but we will go through it all. Before we do, though, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and, of course, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it.
I don't care.
It's 1-0. We're freaking down. 13th in the Championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Yeah, folks, the old added dread of going to play a London-based team for Leeds United. 7 outings now. We have failed to win down in the capital. It ain't great. It ain't good, and it needs to improve. Can it improve? Well, you have to hope so. You know, Leeds have now had the international break after what was a bit of a drab start, but let's remember that Burnley had the exact same points as Leeds United, exact same situation as Leeds United, and they ended up getting over 100 points. So all is not lost. We have only played 5 games of a 46-game season, and hopefully Daniel Farke's had the international break to really sort out this team. I mean, everything's okay, but it needs to be good, and it definitely needs to be better and more clinical in the final third. And it's going to be a tough test. You know, we've got a tough few days, actually, because we go away to Millwall, then we play Hull City. And like I said, Hull City are flying at the minute under Rossini as well. So this is a real test after the international break for Leeds United on whether or not Daniel Farke's done enough to make sure we start firing up the table. Now, my head's telling me that this one's going to end a draw. I think potentially 1-1. But when actually crunching the numbers and looking at the stats, Millwall and Leeds United haven't had a draw against each other in the last 3 meetings, with neither team having a clean sheet in the last 5, and there's been over 2.5 in 4 of the last 5 games. So maybe, folks, it will be a high-scoring affair. Just be ready, though, for Millwall to score first, because history dictates that fact. Millwall have been the first to score in the last 6 games. I'd love a clean sheet. Obviously, we got one last time out against Sheff Wednesday. A lot of Leeds fans didn't take that as a positive. I did. I felt, you know, this is a team that hadn't kept a clean sheet since February, regardless of opposition, regardless of the quality of the opposition. We still couldn't keep a clean sheet. Hopefully, they've got confidence from that. Do I think we'll keep one at the weekend? History says probably not. It's going to be a tough old afternoon. I think some of these players as well. I remember going down there under Bielsa, and I think a lot of them got a little bit overawed, maybe almost frightened, and let them get into the head, because Millwall's a dangerous place to go for both fans and for players. We have a young squad with not a lot of experience, so hopefully those that are experienced can get into the team and let them know what they're about to face. Can't have people wilting under the pressure, even just like taking corners, etc. I've been there myself a couple of times to Millwall, and it is a bit of it's a mad one. Getting off the tube, etc. Those that have been will know the crack, and it's the same for the players. When Leeds United come to town, it's a vociferous, full-blooded crowd that they face, and they will have sold out for Leeds United. They always do. Now, just a little bit on Millwall. Millwall actually leads the head-to-head record between both sides, and are actually higher than Leeds United in the table, currently having won 2, drawn 1, lost 2. And the last time down at the Den, Millwall beat Stoke 1-0. However, a positive for Leeds United is Millwall have failed to put together back-to-back consecutive wins at home this calendar year. We are in September, so that'll be a monkey on their back that they'll be trying to get rid of. According to who scored as well, they will line up with a 3-5-2, Sarr kicking goal, a back 3 of Hutchinson, Leonard and Cooper, Jed Wallace and Norton Cuffy on the flanks, a midfield of Campbell and Mitchell, and a front 3 of Fleming, Nisbet and Bradshaw. Kevin Nisbet is a player to watch out for, hitting Millwall's only goal in each of the last 2 games now. And the only real absentee and injury for Millwall is George Honeyman. Obviously, the same can't be said for Leeds United. We're still yet to hear from Daniel Farke. We'll have a press conference on Friday. We'll wait to see what's said. But could we see the return of Junior Firpo, of Sam Byram? Obviously, Poveda returned to the bench against Sheff Wednesday. How's Kamara, Gruyev, Ampadu, Rodon after their international stints? Will we see Bamford ever again? There is loads for Leeds United fans to wait for news on. But we are getting closer to full fitness, and the quicker we do that, the more options we've got, the more fluidity we can have with the tactics that we decide to play, and hopefully we can start to win games. Because man for man, this is one of the best squads in the league. Well, how are likely Leeds United to line up? It may remain unchanged, but I think we might see a few tweaks. I still think we'll line up with the 4-2-3-1. I still think he'll go with Gray just because Gruyev and Kamara will have to have the minutes managed in this division. Just had the international break to deal with as well. But I think we could see changes at fullback, potentially Junior Firpo and Jed Spence coming in. Although maybe you might see Jamie Shack keep his place. Obviously spent time in Millwall on loan, as did Charlie Creswell. I know Creswell would love to feature in this fixture, and maybe he will, depending on how Joe Rodon got on at international duty. But we have a settled back four that kept a clean sheet. So it's probably best to actually keep that the same. Although you look at Sped's influence when he did come on, you're probably favouring switching that for Ayling. This would be my preferred lineup though. Let me know yours in the comments, folks. And as I said right at the start of the video, although I thought it might well have been a draw, and had I have not looked into the fixture, I'd have gone with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to say Leeds United might squeeze this one out. There hasn't been a draw in the last 3. There's been over 2.5 in 4 of the last 5 games. Millwall have been the first to score in each of the last 6. I think that may well happen. However, I do see Leeds United winning the game, with a big special mention to Crysencio Somerville. No player has had more shots on target for Leeds United this season than Crysencio Somerville, and I think he's going to score at the weekend. I think Leeds United win the game 2-1 with goals from Somerville and Pirro. Hopefully that'll be the case, and we can start this championship season going down to London with the monkey straight off our back. We don't have to worry about it, because you know for a fact if we lose, it then becomes a thing again. You know what I mean? Where it's a fresh season, fresh league. Hopefully we can go down there and pick up 3 points and start to look up the table. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, between now and then, there'll be plenty of content. You'll have your big match preview live the night before. You'll have your press conference reaction. You'll have the game itself, the watch long, and the post-match chat as well. So make sure you've got it locked into the Just Joe Football Show. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.